This is episode number 50 at the BS Machine. Welcome back, guys, and it's a pleasure to be here with you on this epic Monday. It is the 6th of September in 2021, and what a year it has been. What a fucking schmozzle it has been this year and last year and maybe even the year before. But anyway, here we are, guys, and here we're going, and we're moving, we're doing shit, we're living life, whether you like it or not. Time is moving. You know, I had this thing a while ago. I had this vision. I did this cool meditation, and in this meditation, I had this vision of time and how time looked for me. And this was about a year ago. And time for me, if I was to visualize it, what I saw in this meditation was that time is like this conveyor belt, and you're sitting on the conveyor belt and you're just moving along, but the conveyor belt never stops. And it was an interesting vision because I was sitting on the conveyor belt and just sort of moving along, and things were sort of happening around me, and you know, some of the things I liked, some I didn't, but the conveyor belt was still moving. And then I had this other sort of aha moment after that meditation, because really, is time actually a thing? I mean, time is really man-made, isn't it? Because, you know, watches and clocks and things like that, they're the things that tell us it's this date, this time. I mean, is it really? You know, it's one of those things where it's a man-made concept, isn't it? That so you can, you know, keep track of things and keep things rocking. And that's not even what this podcast is about, but that's just sort of what I'm just sharing with you now, because time is it's so weird because it just keeps going. And I've actually been listening to a couple of podcasts myself this week, and I listened to one with David Sinclair, who's this guy. He's got this book called Lifespan, and in that book, he was talking about how, you know, it's not too far away when life is you know, death is not going to be as close as what we think. And with geneticists and stuff like that, he's a full scientist and whatever, but he was talking about how there's already stuff out there that can really prolong your life. And yeah, if you want to check that book out, it's called Lifespan by David Sinclair, and you can even get it on Audible or whatever. It's a really cool book. And he even shares with us in the book the his regimen in terms of you know, what he takes every day, and he talks about intermittent fasting and stuff like that. But it was actually that podcast that got me onto our subject today on what we're talking about. And what we're actually talking about is self-confidence. And the way that the reason that he sort of reminded me of that is because this guy, David Sinclair, he's so cool because he's just dived headfirst into you know, understanding human physiology, understanding certain things about the body. And so, but he needed something within him to move him towards that. And so there's this level of self-confidence that you have to undertake with every single thing that you do in life. And so you know, and when I look around the world at the moment, and I look at, you know, myself and you know, as you guys know, if you're avid BS Machine listeners, as you know, one of the key things that I'm constantly sharing is, I guess, my own struggles and how I get through them. And every single thing that I share is all about personal experience and things that I'm going through myself. And, you know, obviously that's helping you guys. So I feel super blessed to, you know, I guess be able to do that for me, but also do that for you guys. So in terms of self-confidence, I mean, when I look at myself and look around the world at the moment, it's a fucking shit show, isn't it? And it's one of those things right now is what I see is that there's a lot of people that just sort of taking a step back from life, and they're letting other people, you know, control what they do, how they do it, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not saying don't do those things. I'm just here to sort of remind you that there's always these opportunities in life where we get to take, I guess step it up. And I'm looking at this time at the moment for me as an opportunity to really step up to be able to step up in life and to be able to up level yourself and upskill yourself. It takes a level of self-confidence, and even before we get into this ideal of what confidence means, you've got to look at what happens before you can even ignite that part of you and ignite the self-confidence part of you. Because what happens before that is we all have certain beliefs that we believe about ourselves, and these beliefs are deep, that we learn as little kids. And for example, for me, my belief under the surface is that I'm not capable. I don't have the capacity to do the things that I want to do. And there's other belief systems out there, which is basically things have to be perfect in order for me to move forward. I must control everything around me and all this type of stuff. But if you want to have a look at Enneagrams and do an Enneagram test, that will give you a really, really cool look at your personality type. And I'm a number 7, which is basically someone that believes deep down that they don't have the capacity. So yeah, if you want to check it out, even before diving into this self-confidence thing, there's a test you can do on there, which is like $12, and it spits out your personality type, and it's really, really fucking cool. So do it. It's the enneagraminstitute.com, I think it is, but you'll find it. Just Google Enneagram Institute and then do the test, which is $12. And if you need to know where that is or whatever, you know what, I might even just share it in the notes in the podcast when I put it up, either on YouTube or on one of the other means on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So self-confidence, guys, it's a fucking big one, isn't it? And it's one of those things that it doesn't just happen organically. And sometimes it does when everything sort of aligns, but the only time it really aligns is when you've done the work beforehand to make sure things do align, and so when things are in flow, it's because you've taken certain steps before that. But this thing with self-confidence, what happens is that when you get certain opportunities in life, whatever they might be, when you get certain opportunities, those opportunities are there for you to take advantage of. And sometimes they don't look like opportunities. Sometimes they might come in the form of conflict. Sometimes they might come in the form of, some type of fucking argument, or it might come in the form of maybe you're losing your job. There's all these different forms where we get opportunities. But what happens with most people in life is that when these things happen, they don't look at things like an opportunity. They step into this like fucking why me, woe is me, but they don't look deeper into it and see the opportunities there. And when these things come in, you have to have a level of confidence within yourself. One, that you sort of believe that everything that's happening is I mean, the way I look at it, to be honest, is that everything that happens is just showing me that things are magically unveiling in order for me to get what I've been focusing on. But most people don't have that awareness. And when you don't have that awareness, and I'm not saying I'm better than you or whatever, because trust me, I'm fucking living life unaware most of the time. But if you understand how to come into awareness and how to reflect and things like that, then you'll have a way different experience, and you will be able to step into this place of self-confidence and when you need to do that. And so on this thing where these opportunities pop up in life, where they may not seem like they're all rosy and whatever else, in those moments, they're the moments when you've really got to ignite and step up this idea of self-confidence. And self-confidence most of the time happens in situations where where things don't really make sense, and it's almost like you've got to do it in a way where you don't know what the outcome is, and the best way to step into self-confidence is when you've got nothing to lose. So you always have to, and I believe always, maybe in your life not, but in my life definitely, I know that if I step into this mentality or this this state of having nothing to lose, then what happens is there's this level of confidence that bubbles up in me, and the self confidence in me goes, okay, it not just brings up confidence, but it also brings up my absolute truth. It brings up in me what I actually want in life, what it is that actually means stuff to me. Because when you've got nothing to lose, it shows you exactly how to move forward. It shows you exactly where you need to go. And in those moments when you've got nothing to lose, and you put yourself in that place where you've got nothing to lose, fuck, it's powerful, man, isn't it? Because then you're just going, well, okay, I'm here. Like, let's go. This is what I want. I'm going to fucking get it. And that's this level of self-confidence that we all need, especially at this time in the state of the world that it's in, and the state of us that we're in with so much depression, anxiety. Man, I you know, I mean, I've met people and I've spoken to people in the past couple of months that don't even want to leave their house because they're so scared of you know, either being pulled over by the cops because whatever, we're not wearing a mask, or you know, they're scared of catching this fucked up virus that's that's everywhere. Like, you know, what a fucked way to live, being scared to leave your own home, you know. And so and I'm not, trust me, I'm not having a go. I'm definitely not having a go. I'm just saying that I'm trying to give people different ways of looking at things, you know, and this level of self-confidence where you can put yourself into this state of you've got nothing to lose. And look, in terms of nothing to lose, I don't mean financially. Like, this doesn't mean that if you have money in the bank, or you have a you know, you have a house and mortgage and whatever, that suddenly you're just like, oh well, I've got nothing to lose, I'm just going to make dumbass fucking decisions. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you know what it is that you want to experience in life, when you know that you want happiness, you want joy, you want fucking love, you want adventure, you want intimacy, you want, you know, hugs and kisses, and you want all those things, you have to put yourself on the line. Whatever it is, whether it's career, relationships, whatever, you've got to put yourself on the line into a place where you've got nothing to lose. And that's the only moment when true self-confidence bubbles to the surface. Because when you have nothing to lose, as I said before, the other things that pop up is things like the truth, your authentic nature, your authentic truth literally comes to the surface, because you're not making decisions based on trying to hold on to something, or hoard something, or hold on to a job, hold on to a relationship, hold on to, you know, dysfunctional patterns, all this type of stuff. You're going into the world, and you're offering your full self to the world. You're offering all of you into the world, and you're saying to the world that it's fucking non-negotiable for me on how to front up in the world. And that's not arrogance, that's not anything. It's just basically owning your truth, owning yourself, and who you really are at the core. And what will happen, you will find, is that you will start to communicate from a place of truth. You will start to communicate from your soul, your fucking love. You will start to communicate and express yourself out into the world from a very powerful place. And that's self-confidence. And when you meet someone that's confident in themselves, you you're immediately attracted to that person. And but also think about the other side of the fence. If you meet someone that's whatever the opposite of confident is, who's, you know, I guess withdrawn, you know, sad and fucking angry and whatever, are you attracted to that type of personality? Fuck no, not many people are at all. And it just doesn't, it doesn't happen, you know. And a funny story that actually makes me think of a funny story. The other day, I was just going for some exercise, walking my little chili bum, walking the doggy, and I wasn't wearing a mask. Sometimes, I've got to be honest, I forget to wear a fucking mask. Like, fucking sorry. So I was walking my dog, and I forgot to wear a mask here in Melbourne, Australia, in Elwood Beach. That's where me and Chili walkies. Anyway, so walking the dog, didn't have a mask on, and this guy walked past me with a mask, and he full fucking like shouldered me, you know, like shoulder bashed my shoulder. I'm just going, fucking hell, what was that? And I looked back and I said, oh, fuck, sorry, mate. And I was totally unawares, and it wasn't till after, and the guy turned around and gave me this fucking dumbass greasy, and it actually wasn't till afterwards where I realised that this guy was having a go at me because I wasn't wearing a mask. And I get it, you know, everyone has their beliefs and whatever, but I was, you know, there was a part of me they just wanted to turn around, run after him, pull his hair, and fucking smash his face into the sand on the beach. And I'm far from a violent guy, but that's the thoughts that went through my head. And I'll tell you what, even if I did do that, the guy would have probably pummeled me in one punch, and I would have been out cold. But that was a thought process, because I got fucking angry at him. But then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Like, it's just this guy, like, imagine, you know, this poor guy's life. And I actually thought about it, and in my state, I was thinking to myself, man, imagine if this guy, he's lost his whole fucking business because of what's going on here, and he's lost everything. Maybe he's lost his family, and you know, shit's gone really south for him, and he's assuming that the quicker we get this shit done, and the quicker everyone gets, you know, wears the mask and gets the vax and whatever else, the quicker that happens, the quicker he can get his life back together. And so I landed in this place of empathy for this guy after wanting to kick the fuck out of him, you know. But I did. I landed in a place of empathy for him. I was just like, oh fuck, man. Like, I don't know this guy's life. Like, poor thing. And from that, just that in itself, I was able to step into a place of, you know, confidence within myself, because I'm able to be aware of what's going on with other people and not just straight away jump into my shit. And so it is, and then that made me, you know, come home and really reflect on myself, just that little situation in itself. And that's the thing, isn't it? Because you can, in any moment, there's so many opportunities, guys, and so many things that happen in life, especially at these days, the conflict and you know, everyone just trying to resolve all this shit in their life, and there's nothing to resolve, guys. Like, that you need to let things resolve from a place of confidence before you try and work shit out, before you try and resolve stuff. You've got to put yourself into this situation or into this state, which Tony Robbins loves to talk about. Put yourself in a different state. Yeah, Tony. I fucking love Tony Robbins. What a master. But yeah, you've got to put yourself in a different state. And when you put yourself in confidence, when you put yourself in a state of true self-confidence, people will be attracted to you. Things will fucking come to you. And one of the things people often say to me is that, Tommy, how can you always be happy? And I'm like, I don't know about that. And people are, you're always just so happy, and you're such a go-lucky, free, go-lucky guy and whatever. One of my friends' brother said that I'm like the freest range free chicken you could ever come across, and I think that's a compliment for me. But for me, that that's my natural state now, because I've done the fucking work on it. I've done the work on waking up and wanting to be in this place of joy and wanting to look at the world from a different perspective. I've done the fucking work, and it takes. So my happiness, my joy, of course, it's not there all the time. Just over the last week, been one of the shittiest fucking weeks I've had in a very long time. And I had to remind myself in this week that, dude, one, what's going on here? It's like, okay, obviously things are magically unveiling for me in my way, in the way that because and that's what's resolving, because I'm constantly tuning into this vision that I have for myself, not just with work and whatever, but with relationships and friendships and my life, and how I put myself out into the world every fucking day, guys. I'm putting myself and tuning into what I actually want to create for myself. And when shitty weeks happen, even though like this week I've been in my shit pretty much the whole fucking week. And today's Sunday, which I'm recording the podcast from. From recording it from Sunday, but yeah, you're listening to it tomorrow, which is Monday, or whatever day you listen to it. But yeah, I every day, man. Sometimes I have weeks where I'm a fucking low life, and I hate everything and everyone. But then I get to the end of the week and I remind myself, it's like, dude, you're a fucking powerful human being, and that's confidence. And then I go out to the world and I get shit fucking done, and I do it because it's from me, it's from my truth, and that is the biggest message I want to get across to you today, is to have the nads, have the know-how, have the get-go on being on changing your state and stepping into this place of self-confidence. And as you're listening to my voice, how you are in your self-confidence. When you are confident and it's like, yeah, you're in this place of, if you've got nothing to lose. And you know what? A lot of us these days, especially emotionally, we've got fucking nothing to lose. So why not just step in to a whole different dimension, a whole different dynamic, change your fucking state? And that's the opportunity that we all have right in front of us right now. Don't get involved in all the bullshit and all the fucking whatever. Who cares? Like, other people can do that for you. You don't need to get yourself involved in that. Why don't you take the focus into yourself? And this is what I'm talking about. That when you have this level of self-confidence in life, and the way that you move forward and the way that you look at life, just as well as I do in myself, that you are a whole being. You are fucking powerful, and you get shit done where you don't give a fuck what everyone else tells you to do. Of course, I get my advice. I've got some very, very powerful and very, very close friends who are my brothers, they're my sisters, and they're so, so honest with me. And I guess one of my downfalls sometimes is that I'm always looking for other people to tell me what to do. And I will spend hours and hours conversating or communicating or asking people what to do and whatever. But then at the end of the day, I just come back into myself and I'm like, okay, this is what works for me. This is what feels right. No one else knows your life better than you. No one else knows your life better than you. So the only thing you can really do is to have the awareness of coming back into yourself and really tapping in to what's true for you. And whether it's your dad, your mum, your girlfriend, your wife, your fucking kids, your grandpa, whoever the fuck, everyone thinks they know everything better than you, but they fucking don't. So you need to have the know-how and the awareness to trust what it is that you want to do here. What's the resolve? But no, actually, resolve is such the wrong word, because everyone's constantly trying to resolve shit. There's nothing to resolve. All you need to do is really get back into yourself, get back into who you really are, and step into this state, this place of self-confidence. And that is the way forward. That is the way forward. And as I said before, when we are in a place of power, when we're in a place of self-confidence, You don't give a fuck what anyone says. You go and do what you know is right for you, but not from a place of arrogance. It's not about arrogance. It's just about having the pure know-how and the confidence to go ahead and take action. But then you've got to take the action. You have to take the fucking action. Do you have to take the action? Yes, you've got to take the action. Why do you have to take the action? Is because when you take the action is when magic happens, baby. Magic happens, baby. So, what are we learning? It's been 27 minutes, and fuck, man, how do I talk for 27 minutes? I feel like I haven't even come up for air. What are we learning? It is, I don't know. I'd love to know what happens with my podcast. Like, do you guys get to the end and are you like, holy shit, that guy literally did not stop talking that whole time, and I think I got stuff out of it. I think I did, but I'm sure that a lot of the things I say, because I feel like I get energized from talking, and it's that's why I fucking love it, because it sort of reminds me of how to move through my stuff. And so I'd love to know, like, what happens. Is it a podcast where you listen all the way through? Well, obviously, if you've listened all the way through, you can hear me talk. But you know, I I feel like I just push record, and I'm just like, blah, 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 all these words come out, and then I get to the end, I'm like, fuck, what was that about? I don't even know. But I'm pretty sure that we did. Yeah, we dived into self-confidence, didn't we? And that's where we got to in the end, and I fucking love it, because it's just so important these days, right now. And you know what, even if you're listening to this not in 2021, but in 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, when we get to 2030, fuck, imagine what the world's going to be. Ugh, it's going to be a very interesting time. I reckon by the time we're in 2030, and I said this, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram, Tommy Kendi. But I actually said the other day, I have this feeling that that money, as in the actual currency of money, is going to be totally out. It'll be irrelevant within 3 or 4 years, maybe even quicker. And I genuinely believe that money is, well, not money, the new currency is going to be around this stuff. It will be around energy and the stuff we're talking about today. It's about, you know, your own self-worth. The currency is going to be, you know, just giving to the world and being of service to yourself and being of service to the world. The new currency will be, you know, how we interact with each other and how we do that. You know, how we. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm no fucking psychic, but I know that whatever we're going through at the moment, in the world, is not as simple as a pandemic. There's a lot more behind it in terms of our evolution. I'm not talking about any conspiracy or anything. I'm talking about in terms of our evolution, as a humanity. There is something way deeper bubbling below the surface, other than just a pandemic. And I think the one of the big things that is obvious to me is that we've been putting our focus into all the wrong areas, and everyone's, you know, this money hungry fuck that's constantly judging themselves and other people, and it just can't go on for any longer. So this is why, once again, a blessing in disguise. So I guess I'll see you next week. I've got a cool guest on next week. Her name's Sarah Jane, Dr. Sarah Jane. She's a very, very cool chick, and she's a network chiropractic woman. Have you guys ever seen that the Goop thing that Gwyneth Paltrow did? Well, she does similar work to that guy, that, you know, how he doesn't touch the body and they just wriggle up and down. So she does exactly the same work, but here in Melbourne, Australia, man. So I'm going to have a chat to her and see what that's all about. She's pretty fucking cool, and she's booked out like till God knows how long. So I'm really interested to see what this whole thing is and why it's so powerful. And so we've got Dr. Sarah Jane on next week. And so looking forward to having a chat to her. But otherwise, have an epic week, guys. Please share this episode and please be awesome. And if you think that these messages that I'm putting out to the world would serve someone else, please send it on and share it with them, and subscribe to the channel. And what else can you do? You can even leave a comment. What? Imagine if you went to that much energy to fucking leave a comment and to rate my podcast, The BS Machine. That'd be fucking cool. All right, guys. I think I'm going to sign off exactly how I sign off every other week. Whoop, shut up, Siri. I'm going to sign off just like I do every other week. Fucking love you guys. Mwah.